Hi guys, Melchor Moore here, and today we are at 1110 Northwest Flanders in the Cultured Pearl with special guest Mirko Fiaschi. Mirko is one of the founders of LetzDoit app, LetzDoit, and Mirko's gotten together with us. He's invited us to participate in an event July 25th, next Thursday, at the Cerulean on Northwest 15th and Marshall in the downtown Pearl. Mirko, why don't you tell us what the app is about and what you're...
Yeah, so LetzDoit is an app that we created to connect people that share the same interests. So in the case of artists, it's going to be possible for art enthusiasts to meet in person with the artist. So this is why we connected with you. This is why we are going to host this event next week. And I'm very, very excited because the people that follow you can download the app. The app is available on both the App Store and Google Play, so for both iOS and Android devices. And so I want to see, if we can help you get more visibility and connect, in a better way with your followers.
Perfect. Excellent. Well, thank you, Mirko. I'm looking forward to... I already used the app, and that's how I met you. It's a good way to meet people.
So it does work, right?
Yeah. Well, why don't you guys follow me, and we'll meet some of the artists that we are going to host with you on July 25th. And here we are. Melchor Moore, Anna Duvall, and Steve Maker. So we haven't seen each other since June 6th when interior designer Laura Sabo introduced us as Portland's premier emerging artists. You guys like that title? So after the event, Mirko Fiaschi,
you got it,
reached back out to us. He has this app that he uses to sort of draw people together. It's a social media app where you go and you find people doing what you want to do. And so now we're gonna do a conference panel and discuss what it is to be an emerging artist and how to break in and challenges you face, right? And so today we got together and we're gonna do some questions that are a little bit more like what it's like to be an artist. Yeah? So Anna, why don't you start?
Oh, I gotta go first?
Sure. Yeah.
Do you want me to ask the question or answer the question?
Yeah, what's the question?
Okay, I'm gonna ask Mr. Melchor here.
Oh, yeah.
Number one.
Diverted.
Right back at you. What was the first painting you sold, my friend?
I sold two at the same time. Off of Facebook, actually. I was just posting my paintings. I was, posting them. People were liking them, and finally somebody reached out.
Did you have it for sale?
Well, yeah, I think I'd finally decided to sell my paintings. I'd gone to a gallery over here, like North Portland, and sort of talked to them, and I've decided I wanted to sell. So I posted that. Somebody reached out, and then embarrassingly enough, I guess I was selling 34 by 26 paintings, and when I pulled them out of the box, after I'd received a PayPal, it was a 20 by 16 and a 34 by 26. So
what'd you do?
Well, luckily they took the 20 by 16 at that price, and that started my pricing model. So, what about you guys?
First painting?
Yeah, first painting.
Well, I started really young. I went to public high school in Hawaii, and I took this graffiti art class at the public library for free, and they taught me graffiti lettering. And so the first things I ever sold art-wise were David Loves Kalani, graffiti letters for couples in my 8th grade class, 50 cents a piece. That's the first art I ever sold. I guess the first painting I ever sold would have been, I painted a random blonde woman. I love to paint women. And mine went way back to MySpace.
Oh my gosh.
And of course I had a little laptop, but I didn't have internet access, so I was sitting in Portland Coffee House, it was called at the time, and I was uploading my paintings onto MySpace. And someone came up behind me and says, "Hey, you want to be part of an art show?" We did it above. It was called Blacklist Gallery. Is near above Kelly's Olympian was the event space. It was a bunch of skateboarders came through and lots of underage drinking going on. So it got busted by the police. But I sold I sold my first painting to this beautiful woman, Beckley, who I'm still in contact with. And she thought the painting looked like her, and it did. And she was like, I have to have this. And I was like, it's $75, thinking like she's never going to buy this. This is so much money. And she shelled it right out and was like, it's mine, took it right off the wall. So that was my first painting sale. And
she bought more?
Shout out to Beckley. No, but she actually owns a bar in Hong Kong now, so she's doing some crazy good things. But
crazy.
Yeah. Maybe, I hope she still has the piece. I don't know, I should ask her.
I'm sure she does.
I remember my first painting, and I had no intentions of selling, but I had my art teacher, this was in like the 7th grade, and he took my painting to enter in a competition, which I never saw.
Did he ask your permission?
No, he just took it. And he said I put it in a competition, and I won, which was great. I thought that was wonderful. But then when the painting came back, the teacher said, I'm not giving it back. I want your painting, and I'll give you $30. And he did. Wow. So that was my first painting. And I never saw it again, and I have no idea where it is.
You don't know where the guy is?
Nope, have no idea.
How old were you?
7th grade.
Oh, wow.
So
And that's a lot of money for a 7th grader.
that was a huge amount of money.
Yeah, you're like, oh my God,
So
I have $30.
it was okay. Take my painting.
That's great.
So how about if I ask a question?
Okay.
What advice would you give to artists just starting out, like we are?
Balls in my court or his?
Well,
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, you.
Okay, I say you definitely do not have to go to art school to be an artist. Just start painting, just start making music, just start whatever the art is that you're doing, just do it. There's so many tools to promote yourself, social media wise. Instagram is like a free website to promote yourself.
Right.
I do most of my networking through Instagram. I did go to art school, and I, if I had the chance to redo it all over again, I don't think I would go. I learned most of my skill set for painting in high school. I had a great public art school art teacher. I always give her a shout out, Jan Sato. She is amazing. She taught me.
Hawaii?
Yeah, in Hawaii, Baldwin High on Maui. She taught me everything I know. She'd even go out of her own pocket to buy us art supplies. She'd teach us things. She'd buy silk screens. Anything she could get her hands on, she'd teach us. I didn't really learn much in addition in college except how to work with a hangover and how to work 3 jobs in order to afford tuition. So that's also a valuable skill set. But if I could say anything to anyone just starting out, is just do it. Do it. Promote it. Do art in public. If any way you can get attention to yourself, be balls out. Just go for it. A teacher, a lot of art teachers are just artists who didn't make it. So anyway, I didn't say that. Edit that out.
Melchor?
I would say the same thing. I don't think there's much you can add to that answer. I wasn't formally trained, and I just kept. I think I just started painting and did what I loved, and it's funny you mentioned Instagram because that's how Anna and I met.
Yep.
Right? On Instagram, I messaged her.
He got down in my DMs, or whatever the kids are saying. I don't know.
That's what they're saying. But what about you? Give advice.
Give advice. Well, first, my first experience as art teacher.
Oh.
You
Plug
were
her.
Oh.
No,
okay.
no.
Uh-oh.
Mrs. Williamson, and she taught art classes free in the park.
Okay.
And I remember my first project was I rolled clay and made ashtrays. But it was free and it was great, and I did it all summer long, and that was a long time ago. So art classes are great, but you find lots of inspiration from a lot of different places.
I thought you were going to say you were an art teacher, and I was like, uh-oh, I'm in trouble.
We don't know what we're doing.
I know.
I like to do art, but I don't know if I'd like to teach art.
Yeah, same. I don't have the patience to teach much of anything, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't even know where I would begin to tell somebody how to paint.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how long have you been painting?
4.5 years.
Okay.
Inspired by a bad breakup and lots of rain in Portland. Yeah.
I've been painting since high school, since Miss Sato's like, I like your drawings, can you paint? And I said, nope. She's like, well, you're going to learn.
Oh.
And,
So has your style changed a lot since then?
you know,
Or
actually,
what you paint changed a lot?
what I paint has changed, mainly because in high school, you know, you paint, and this was a million years ago, I'm 37, so I'm talking about it like it was yesterday. I paint, I feel like my technique hasn't changed much, but definitely my subject matter has changed because basically I was painting for assignments back then, so now I paint mainly my beautiful women of Portland. I'm lucky enough to have lots of friends that inspire me, and I primarily paint women, but I've thrown some guys into the mix too. I like all the colorful tattoos and the kind of anti-Pamela Anderson style, like anti-LA Barbie look that's going on here. So I find it much more authentic and interesting.
So are you painting all the time now? Or-
I am a full-time cocktail waitress, actually.
Okay.
So I am painting, I call art my side hustle, but it's really been taking over. Most of my weekends are now spent on commissions or
Great.
projects for, I do some art for Boneyard Brewing.
Yeah,
Love
she's
them.
got the keg
tap handles,
You
yeah.
did that? You did those?
I didn't do the RPM one, but I can't do it. But I've done like
Why
a
are
couple.
you laughing? What's the RPM?
Well, that's like their flagship beer.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh.
people are always like, "Oh, did you design?" I was like, "No, I didn't."
all the others.
Maybe I'd be like a bazillionaire then. But no, I did one for their incredible pulp and Pablo Pilsner. So yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
You know, people will know that the three of us are so different in what we paint too.
Completely
Yeah.
And
different,
you know,
yeah.
this app has kind of gotten us together
Ditto.
to see what we do.
Yeah, that's why I like the dynamic is because we are like so different. Like your and I's paintings are probably more similar, but they're very different.
They're very
Like,
different.
They're very different, and then you're on board, and it's like wild, and we're like I'm a little conservative. You're like a little bit more
I don't
conservative.
see
than
you
I am.
as conservative at all.
No,
No,
I
no.
feel conservative.
I'm curious about this question.
What does it say?
How do you feel about prints and product conversion? Meaning, how do
that
you
was
feel?
for you. Or, yeah, that was,
Okay,
yeah.
How do you
Like-
feel about that?
like-
How do you feel about prints and product conversion?
I don't know if I'm reading the question correctly or understanding
How do
it. Do you like? Is it how? Do I sell prints of my stuff, and how do I go about making prints?
Product conversion is where you take an image, a digital image of your, like basically your photograph of your stuff, and you convert it onto a product.
Okay.
So coffee mugs, calendars.
Ooh, yes, I do have something to say about
Yeah,
that.
and then
You do that?
fabrics. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm about to do shirts. My friend Victoria, I'll also give her a plug, at VMO Visuals, VMO Visuals
We'll
on
put it in the
Instagram.
description.
Yeah, she's one of my best friends and also an artist. She has printed shirts, and I'm like inspired to get some shirts printed. But I've been doing personalized phone cases for people where I take their initials. I like XOXO, that's not my initials, and I take some of my imagery and put it in there, like something either they chose of mine off the internet that they liked or something I choose for them. Let's see,
And she's doing that for you? Like
no,
that?
I make people just buy me the phone case and I personalize
stick
it
it
for
in?
them, yeah.
Oh.
I customize wallets for people, but mainly I take photos of my art and I go to Office Depot. Shout out to Office Depot, they're amazing. The one downtown.
Yep, I use them too. I use them
They
too.
do amazing print work there, and I get prints made. I mount them on wood. I cover them in my signature heavy gloss resin, and I sell them on the walls at bars I frequent usually. Lowbrow Lounge, Momo's is my main hub for where I sell my prints. So and I print stickers at Office Depot too.
Yeah, you print the stickers.
I
at
print
Office
stickers.
Depot.
I've been using Dynamo Prints on Instagram too. He's a former employee of where I work, at
Okay.
the restaurant I work, and he does vinyl stickers. And I just did a run of vinyl, and they're amazing because they're waterproof. The other ones, and in Portland, you don't want to stick non-waterproof stickers
Yeah.
on anything.
So what you're both saying actually is you're doing every single outlet you can to sell your work.
I don't.
And
I'm very conservative about like the way I do it. Like I only paint like cute puppies when I transfer them onto like coffee mugs and pillowcases. Everything else like is an original.
yeah, but just transferring onto a coffee mug is a new way of promoting yourself. I mean,
Yeah.
the old-fashioned artist would never do that.
Oh.
You know,
Does
that
your
would-
signature stay on the mug? That was a thing I was curious about doing something
I
like
think
that
I
potentially.
think you'd have to mine the ones I have done.
You don't copyright or you're not you doing anything like
Well, I
that?
sell original paintings as my main thing. So if somebody,
Okay.
if my painting ends up on a Hello Kitty in Japan. Great.
But when you sell to like the product people, like the mug or the pillowcase, you're sort of selling your rights to that print at that point.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
I use, well, not the licensing though. The
Okay.
licensing is a different matter, but yeah, you can have the print.
Mm-hmm.
Like the licensing, you relinquish licensing unless there's a contract and you sign it over. I use Redbubble. Somebody like you would probably be good on Society 6.
Never heard of either of
Well, you
those,
have to get a
honestly.
computer. Do you have one yet?
No, I don't have a computer. I mean, I have a phone, so, and Office Depot has computers for me.
We'll get you set up on Society 6.
Okay, boss.
And then you need a calendar of Steve Maker, January through December.
My bridge paintings or something, bridges through the years or
Okay,
something like that.
okay.
Yeah, that'd be good. No, I've been on calendars.
Oh?
Yeah. I've
Oh,
done,
well, there you go. Product conversion.
I didn't get any money for it, but I've been on calendars.
Oh.
So, but it was good promotion.
My turn, huh?
Yep.
Okay, I think we kind of like touched this. Describe your, well, you did, Anna. You were talking about like
Yeah.
your painting, like
I
maybe.
think the only thing
we
that you didn't do was number 2.
Ooh, most embarrassing thing that
We
happened
should
to
all
you.
Oh
as
my
a
god, I
child.
have so many actually.
Jeez. I think mine was
The most embarrassing.
I think it was probably selling a 20 by 16 for the price of a 34 by 26 and then finding out after I'd received payment was pretty.
Embarrassing.
So you were like giving them a bad deal or a good deal?
I was a bad deal that was accepted.
Was that your
Ah.
first painting?
That was my first
So,
sale.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
not
well, you
good.
can't. Yeah, you can't beat yourself up over the first
First blunder.
sale. Yeah.
What about you guys? Embarrassing.
You know, in the gallery, it's kind of fun because I have my paintings up, and it's people come in and they'll say, you know, if I have 2 paintings, and they'll say, "God, I just really love that painting. That's so much nicer than that other one there." And I
Oh.
say, "Oh, that's mine too." That happens quite a bit.
I know you get the best feedback, like when I'm at Momo's where my art is all plastered up in that bar. I'll just be drinking there, like staring at my phone, and it's great to hear people's feedback, like, you know, that would make such a feminist statement if there wasn't so much glitter all over it or something. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I'm not trying to make a feminist statement necessarily. You know, I'm just
Yeah,
trying to paint my
yeah.
friends, and one of them happens to wear lots of glitter on her eyes or whatnot. So I think it's, at least you're getting an honest opinion.
You're getting honest, and
Yeah.
you know, people say, "Do you really get money for that?" Yeah.
Yeah, art's a,
But
art's
they
a
don't know.
luxury.
People don't know, and it's very honest.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
never know who you really never know who you're talking to, you know,
You're
especially
dealing with
waiting
the public.
tables. Like, it's always awkward when they're ordering like a bottle of wine and you're like, oh, no, $300. But you don't want to like assume they don't have $300 for a
Right.
bottle of, for a bunch of old grapes, you know, so.
Right.
But man, I had kind of an embarrassing slash weird thing happen. I got offered to do an art show at the Art Institute of Portland, where I've never attended and really have nothing to do with. I waited on a gentleman who I was talking about art school, and then he's like, well, you'll never guess what I do as a living. And I go, what? You don't look like an art student, you know. He goes, oh, I'm the president of Art Institute of
Oh, the
Portland.
one you're
And I was
just
like,
talking
oh!
smack about.
I go, oh, there goes my tip.
Oh, no.
I was like, oh, shit. But anyway, we
Now,
ended up
that
being...
doesn't mean he knows about art, though.
No,
he's just president.
His name
so.
is Greg, and he's a great man. He ended up becoming a regular man. We ended up becoming friends, and he followed me on Instagram. He goes, oh, why don't you do an art show at the school? And I'm like, are you serious? And so I was really excited, and I prepared for the show for over a year. And my dad was like, oh, like this is a real thing, like a real art show. So I started painting for it. A couple months passed by, and he takes a job at a different art school out of state, I believe in Tennessee. And so a new regime takes over at Art Institute, and I email the new contact, and I say, hey, supposed to have a show in April. This is the style of my work. Is this still okay? Because I guess my work could be considered a little risque.
That was your mistake. You should have said, "Is it okay?"
No. I get an email back right away. It's fine. Everything's still going. 2 weeks before the show was about to go down, my dad is flying in from Maui. He never does that kind of thing for an art show, you know. So even my aunts and uncles from Michigan, who I like, so everyone's coming to this show, and it's a big deal. 2 weeks out, and I put in so much time. I get the fatal email: my art is deemed too edgy, and it will not be going up at the art school. And I just burst into tears. I guess it wasn't more embarrassing as it was like heartbreaking, you know. I'm like, this is an art school. Don't you have nude painting? And they're like, yeah, but we would never hang it on our walls, you know. We have high schoolers touring the school. I'm like, high schoolers have more, you know, porn on their phone than I'll ever look at in my life. Anyway, I contacted the original guy who got me the show, and he got it, you know, got the wheels rolling again. He probably tore some higher up than you know. But I don't know, I can say on YouTube. But
So it did happen.
it did happen, but it was taken down 3 days after it was put up. And I was just called and said, it was supposed to be up a month. I called and said I could come back and collect my paintings.
Oh,
And 2 of the paintings they took down before the opening reception because they were deemed inappropriate, even though everything I do is appropriate for Instagram, and they're pretty harsh judge of, you know, not having nudity, not having anything offensive. So that was embarrassing / heartbreaking. I'm like, how could an art school not allow, you know, free expression, basically? But it was you live and you learn, you know.
You learned
punches.
a lot.
I did, and yeah, so that even more changed my mind about art school. And yeah, don't go.
I didn't go. Did you go to art school?
I went to art school for a year.
Would you say that it was necessary?
You know, when I went to art school, which was many years ago, you had to pick, you couldn't go into what you wanted to. I couldn't go into painting because that was a 3-year, 4-year student. I had to go into commercial art, which was the least interesting part of art for me. So, you know, I learned a lot. I learned what I didn't want to do,
That's important.
but I only stayed a year.
Yeah.
And I didn't graduate.
And they wouldn't let you be a painter, huh?
Not the first year. You had to wait till
Oh.
your second or third year to
So
be
you
a
couldn't
painter.
make it through year
I
2.
didn't make it.
So, I guess the moral of the story is just do it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
We will see you guys Thursday, July 25th at 6 p.m. I'll put a link in the description as to where we'll be. Cerulean Wine. I forget the address. That's why I have to put it in the description. Do you know it? What's
No,
the
I
address?
don't.
Northwest
14th? 15th.
Northwest 15th and
Everyone-
Marshall.
because
Everyone has smartphones. They can just look
Yeah,
up.
Yeah.
they've got a big sign outside,
CREU Cerulean.
Like the color.
like the color.
Bye guys. Thank you.